project work. Why do interest-based project work? At first, it is not necessary to be an expert at computers to access to these web pages, which contains a lot of information for teaching. Just take your time to plan and design a class with this tool. Just remember that the best material is developed by your own. Secondly, there are many group activities that allow a teamwork and an interaction among students, reaching two main objectives of teaching: communicate and sharing knowledge. Thirdly, here the learners can be in touch with a more real world, working on their interest topics. Fourthly, this tool allows to the students to work on activities that make them to look inside their own knowledge to solve a problem. One big example of this internet-based project work is Wikipedia. As well as you know, this is a website built by hundreds of users and provides thousands of articles about many different topics. So, here there are 4 suggestions to start. The first one says that look for a hot topic or important affair to be researched. The second is to give the question you want to be answered and clarify the way how to research must be done. Point 3. There is millions of web pages through the whole internet. Select and share those web pages you recommend to be used. And finally, choose how the students must present the results. A poster, presentation, an essay. It is up to you, the teacher.
For basic projects, we have a low-level project. For the one we're going to need 3 classes of at least 45 minutes, access to internet for the second and the third lesson, and we are going to use the tool Microsoft Word. The aim of this project is to provide the opportunity to focus on language areas as countries, nationalities, dates, places, past tenses, likes and dislikes, and opinions. Learners will research their favorite actor and they are going to prepare a poster about him. For the first lesson, that can be a homework if you don't have enough time, learners will write down the name of their favorite actor and mind map what they know about him or her. Finally, they will write a list of things that they don't know about this person but they would like to find out. In the second lesson, teacher will provide websites to students in where they are going to find more information about the actors. The more information, the better. Teacher will give a model of biography according to students' level and also will do some comprehension work, working on structures and vocabulary that they should use in their biographies. In the third lesson, this lesson involves making the final product, so they will use tools like Microsoft Word to organize the information that they have in a poster using illustrations and photographies. You have to take into account the copyright and ensure that you and your students are able to use the info and the pics. Now, for doing a high-level project, in this case about the global warming, learners will have the opportunity of examining a serious issue in depth. Also, they will have the chance for developing and specific communication skills. For this lesson or this project, it is necessary 3 classes of at least 45 minutes, having access to internet and access to video recording equipment. In the first lesson, learners will do a brainstorm about what they know about the global warming, and teacher can use this chart as a guide. Sorry, 3 classes of at least 45 minutes, having access to internet and access to video recording equipment. In the first lesson, learners will do a brainstorm about what they know about the global warming, and teacher can use this chart as a guide. Students will divide them into 5 groups, so students are going to work in all of the topics from the chart. In the second lesson, teacher will encourage students to think about how they can enhance the final presentation. Teacher will divide the class into 5 groups, and they're going to work towards a special television debate about global warming. So there are going to be 4 groups, and the first one are the TV debate presenters. The second is the scientists who deny that global warming is real or it exists. The third group is the environmental campaigns, and the fourth are the studio audience. So the presenters are going to be the moderators of the debate, so they are going to be in charge of controlling the time, the participation, and all that stuff. The scientists are going to talk about the studies, and they are going to try to convince everyone that global warming does not exist and is not an issue that we have right now. The environmentalists they are going to give evidence in order to prove that global warming exists and it's very dangerous. And finally, the studio audience, they are going to listen and take part based on the information that they are given. Finally, for the third lesson, you will have the actual debate. So if it is possible, you are going to simulate the studio, the TV studio, moving tables and chairs around the classroom. Also, if it is possible, try to record for later playback and examine use of language and be aware of correcting mistakes. Be aware of time so you will be able to conclude successfully the debate. Now, the question. Which one of these projects will you use in your classes and why?
Hi everyone, my topic is internet-based simulation, and it is basically to bring real-life context to the classroom. I mean, to create a whole stage to provide an experience as close as possible to a real specific situation, in order to help our students to deal with future issues, probably during foreign travels, on any casual meeting with native speakers or just English speakers. And the main idea of this is involve students taking part of different characters. For example, has students, has taxi driver, has assistant, has secretary, I mean any role, better closer to this similar and personal experience of each student. And also it's important to talk about of the 3 phases of the structure of a simulation. So about the first one is all information that the teacher has to give to the students. Information about the tasks, about the rules, about the different roles, and also the more important about the whole situation they're gonna work in. And it's important that the teacher tries to predict all the differences that they think that the students will need, and the teacher can provide some exercise about drilling and listening and reading in order to practice before the discussion. About the second one is to prepare the discussions in pairs or in groups, trying to give a solution of that specific situation. And in the simulated situation can be also included work, a writing work has a letter or has a report. And the third one and final is about the evaluation of the student's performance in terms of the writing work and the oral work. And it could be a little bit review of the errors made by the students of the different discussions of the simulations and a feedback about all these things. Now I would like to show you an example from the reading, and it is business English simulation. In this simulation, the students has the role of a personal assistant, and the student has to organize their bus trip to the United Kingdom. First of all, the student has to use a real website to collect information, to read, and then planning the trip. Finally, the students have to put all this information in a written report for their box with all the different details about the flights, the accommodation, the entertainment, and also about the different prices of all this stuff. And this simulation particularly works well in the field of business, but we can adapt it to a more general context, like in a case of planning a holiday by a group of friends, of a holiday by a family.
Audio Jungle.
The Webquest are many projects where most of the information it contains is taken from the internet and can be used by the teacher or by the students, or can be searched by them, thus implementing the use of web queries in the class and creating a technological education. The teacher Bernie Dodge identifies two types of Webquest. The first one is the short-term Webquest. In this case, the Webquest is used in a class. The student acquires information from several websites and develop a learning process with it or develop an activity. And the second one is a longer term Webquest. In this case, the students take what they have acquired in the short term and transform by creating a new information or a new material that another person can perform to realize in different time, for example weeks or semesters. Webquests are also to cover needs and concerns that the students may have.
Webquest consists of 4 steps. The first one is the introduction, which contains the language learning contents, the background of the topic they are going to develop, also keywords for understanding of the different tasks. Second one, the task. Here are the different instructions for learners to understand the exercises they are going to do. Those instructions must be motivating, also interesting, and firmly anchored with real-life situations. The third one, process. This step contains different internet-based resources like links to websites, also videos, for them to comprehend the topic they are working on. For one, evaluation. On this stage can be found learners, also teachers, self-evaluations for them to contrast what they have learned, also to have into account what they have achieved during the whole process with other learners.
Hi guys, so we have another question and it is about how to create a web quiz. So let's go. Okay, so the first step is to search for create a web quiz. So we can use even the first page. I think this is very good because it helps a lot to simplify all the things. You don't need to use BB codes or things like that are often used in other websites or blogs. So here we just have to sync up. We should put our email address, username, password, and all those things. And then we log in. So we enter through our account first. And then we have here different options, some buttons. So first, as we need to create a web quiz, we go to create a web quiz. And the main part of this is to choose the topic. I have one that is about matter of culture, but it is a very wide topic because it could help our students to learn different structures and vocabulary. So I have this for introduction, like culture shapes person, and a lot of what we do is about culture. So that is the introduction of the topic. The task is something related with the topic, but in which we can work to help our students to be better in something, improve something. And this task is about make a comparison about Chinese and Colombian culture. So what the difference and which things you find most difficult about the difference of our culture and Chinese culture, things like that. And then we need to put like the process of how we want our students develop the main topic. So for example, we can put something like what we want to see in the topic and how they must work. So for example, they must show pictures and small videos about the topic, something they create. And even we can put the resources that we want they see about the topic. For example, here I have some links about the videos of the Chinese and Colombian culture. If we only copy and paste the link, it will be like this in a blue colored way, but we can use also the different buttons, the features that this interface has. For example, we can put here the URL to have another kind of skin in our resources. Let's make a proof. For example, this is a YouTube video about Colombian culture, and in this way our students will see the video in the Webquest. So let's analyze those different use of this interface. For example, it has how to change the letter, how to attach things, or maybe classify things by points or numbers. We can here use this media embed to upload links, images, or other resources, or we can just create like tables. Those tables will be very useful for classify different things about a topic, or even to put grades or wherever we want. Here we also have other options like insert special characters to undo or redo. This is for paste, but we can use also our keyboard to do things like that. The set language is like the corrector of our language, how we write, and that's all. So, well, we can go to the other slide, evaluation. We should select different ways to evaluate, but this is only to show how we can create a web quiz online. So I'm going to put like this about language skill, the correct usage, appropriate vocabulary and grammar, understandable, spoken loud enough to hear easily. That will be like rubrics or features of our evaluation. And then we can put as a conclusion about the things that we are working in about the Webquest. So, for example, now as we were seeing the matter of culture, we know the important about the culture. This part is for the student. You gain important knowledge, vocabulary, different themes, improve skills, all those things. And this part is for the credits. This is very useful not only to put the credits about you as teacher, even to put like references and other information about the resources that we used. So the last part is the teacher page. I think it is very useful to put like page if we have one, or our email to help students to find our email to send the tasks. And I think that this is everything. So we in this page only have to put in the slides, organize all the information that we need to create the web quiz, and then we need just to check and save, and already it is going to be published. So we have our web quiz with the steps, the introduction, the task, the process. Here we have the video or the resources, and even the evaluation part, our conclusion, the credits, and that's all. It's very easy, it's very useful. It's not only something that we can use for just one subject. You can find in this web a lot of web quests about different topics, different subjects, and it is a very good idea to help students to learn, and that is what we want. So in this day we're finishing, and I think that is all.